This is going to be a different video today. Obviously knife throwing centric. You have before you 7 knives that I've collected from not too long ago. Tru Balance knives made in Grand Rapids, Michigan. These might not all be made in Grand Rapids, but I think these are all Harry knives, I believe. From what we can figure is it's the sheath that really dates them. Some of the oldest sheaths have the loops, and these more of a circular kind of a rivet. Then I believe they went to a circular rivet with the cut, and then I believe he started farming them out, which, I mean, I would too if I sold as many throwing knives as Harry McAvoy. Just interesting how things have changed over the years. I do have the first 4, the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, and the number 4. Obviously the number 1 is considered, it's called the Professional, and this is a really old one. It's got a hole in it. It also has, I think, the handle material that Joe Broken Feather Dara complained about him using on some of his knives. They chip really easy. But that's an oldie. Just got it. I'm super stoked. It's really cool. Then I have 3 number 2s, which is the Bowie axe. They all have the tapered handle. He also did some with a square handle and a loop, or a lanyard hole. A lot of ones you see, they say Vietnam era. That was more of a field knife. The ones with the tapered handles are more throwers. But any of these knives are hard enough that they can take an edge. Made from spring steel, specially tempered. So all these knives will hold an edge if you wanted to. The Bowie axe was a field knife and a thrower, as well as a lot of other things. This is probably the most iconic Tru Balance pattern you see. It's been duplicated and copied by Cold Steel and other things. This one here is probably my pride and joy. Came from Hawaii. Funny side note, living in Michigan my whole life, not very far, hour and a half drive from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I have never found a Tru Balance knife in the wild in Michigan. He mailed so many out, I think so many different places. It's just really interesting. He corresponded with tons and tons of people over the years too. All my paperwork that I have here in front of you, signed by Harry McAvoy a couple times, came from the Hawaii boy, or the Honolulu Express, and we've called it a couple different funny names in our Michigan Blade Thrower group. But it's really cool. Came with a couple of catalogs. You see the Professional, the number 1. Then you see the Bowie axe, number 2. And then also number 3, the Model 3, called the Throwing Bowie. This is the Model 3, also with a fit sheath. This one's pretty darn sharp too. This was designed as like a game getter kind of thing. And then I also have a Model 4, which is called the Tru Balance Battle Blade. These got redesigned. They got discontinued, then they got redesigned with a more belly in the blade. This one's pretty skinny, but Steve, and I believe his son, redesigned it in the 90s and had a heavier blade. This one throws from the handle, but I think this one throws half spin good too. It's kind of that military, that military half spin grip. Throws really good too. 1.5 spins, or no, I can do half spin with this at 4 meters like all day long. It's just like, it's just its job. And then probably the best throwing out of all of them that I have is the Model 76, the throwing dirk. This is still made today, as well as the Model 2s and some of the other models. Bobby Branton now owns the company. He bought it from Steven here a few years ago. My brother has a Branton, I think it's a mountain bow. It's a really big one. Really nice work. Cool knife. Bobby does great work. Glad that somebody that does good work has the company now. So it's interesting, these sheaths, like I said. respective sheath to the left of the knife. So like I said, the really old ones have the fold-over flaps. Then they transition to the cut, but then they're fit. And then they went to this more of a kind of a generic style. You'll see this on a lot of knives. You see on eBay too, where they're miscategorized because they'll actually say, like, they'll have a Bowie axe sheath, but it's not a Bowie axe. Great knives. Just really amazing that some of the other really popular people in knife throwing right now, Brandon Danger Dillon, he taught himself how to throw knives from this book. And you guys know how good of a thrower he is. He's amazing. So it's just really interesting. Like I said, where all these knives have come from. And that, like I said, none of these have come from Michigan. Sorry, I live in town. It's a little loud. But it's just interesting. So, like, for instance, my model number 1, the Professional, this came from Arizona. My oldest, I think this is my oldest Bowie axe, but I can't be sure. But I think it is just because of the sheath. That is from California. Also has really nice markings too. I think as the blades get, have the blanks have been around a long time, and I think Harry made a lot of blanks, and I think over the years Steven and Bobby have just ground off those blanks. I could be wrong, but that's just my thought. Then this one came from Bo McNeese had this. A buddy of mine bought it from him. And then this one here, like I said, this is the Kona Express. This thing is sharp as sharp can be. I mean, it's scary sharp. Somebody's actually hand sharpened this. They've not used a grinding wheel. It's pretty flippin'. Got to get it in the belly. It's pretty freaking sharp for a throwing knife. Yeah, don't throw that one from the blade, kids. And then you have my Model 3. That came from Indiana, so that's pretty close to home. And then my Model 4, which I think is an also really old one too, because you see the loop sheath. That is from Illinois, which is pretty close to home too. And then you have my Model 76. This come from Maine. So this thing throws great. I like it a lot. They all throw great. Just depends on where you're at. Some will be a little back from the line. Some will be a little, pretty close. This guy here, it's short. It throws like right from the line. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I think I got room here. I could probably throw a couple just for fun, because, well, that's what we do, right? We throw knives. Move my table forward just a titch. So this guy here, model number 1, you're back from the line just a little bit on one spin. That's fun. I call this my beater Bowie axe because it was somebody must have used it to pound through something. She needs some work, but she throws good too. Oh, my other Bowie axe. The bow axe. The Bo McNeese axe. Oh, I suck. Terrible. Gotta throw it again. I mean, what's the sense of knowing throwing knives if you don't throw them, right? I don't throw that one. I have, but I'm not going to do it on camera. Model 3. This is kind of fun, short and sweet. Put toe right on the line. It's a sticker, too. I honestly think the way this is shaped, I think this would be really, really good, like a mountain man pattern. This one, like I said, I don't throw this one too great from the handle. I think this is more of a military half spin kind of thing. But I'm like, I think somewhere in here, I think, if I remember. Oh, see, I gotta back up or come forward. I gotta back up. But, stuck it. And then the throwing dirk. This is by far, I think, the best performing from the handle and the blade ones that I have. This throws pretty good. The Model 1 from the blade, I think this is a lot like some of the circus throwers are kind of based on this. Just different style handle and stuff. But this thing, great. Just a great throwing knife. I throw bullseye blades, Wild West Bowies, the prototypes. I had 6 of the 7, but I would probably throw 3 of these in competition. These are really nice. Model 76 was designed for the bicentennial. So this knife is at least from 1976. Yeah, this thing's good. I like it a lot. They're all really cool. But yeah, this thing, whoo, little low. Hadn't thrown it lately. But sticks the so just kind of a little rundown on Tru Balance knives. Like I said, Harry McAvoy is I mean, honestly, he's as far as I'm concerned, the father of modern knife throwing. We'd not be anywhere near like we are today if we didn't have him. A Michigan original. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, Bobby and Steven, for continuing his tradition on. And thanks for watching.